Hello Internet, this is MBL Week 3, we are Team Cyberbaz, and we're back to build another team. So, hello Aaron.
Hello guys.
How are we feeling after the first 2 weeks?
You know, Baz and I were talking about this before. Historically, we're super good in the regular season. Obviously, we've made playoffs, come close both years. This time, not the best start, but we did go against two of the harder teams we could have went up against. And I think last week, obviously, we feel like we pretty much would have had the win after if turn one went in our favor. But even after that, we're pretty happy with how we played. And I was telling Baz, like, we might be 0-2, but I'm really happy about at least how we've prepared going into the games. Just week one, we were a little bit rusty, didn't expect Coco's moveset. And then week two, had all the tools, just unfortunately a little bit of bad RNG towards the beginning of the game. But that being said, we're back and ready for week 3, and we need a win on the board, so still got to look for that first one.
Yeah, definitely. I like how professional. Oh, just a bad bit of RNG at the beginning of the game. We missed the bloody overheat.
Right.
We literally won the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think our goal right now after that is, I think we were definitely already feeling it during the game, but we just want to keep composed going to the next couple of weeks. I know I've actually still been thinking about that, and just those were one of the games of Pokemon where it's like, oh my god, really? Yeah. But just gotta look past that, as we were both saying.
Yeah. Okay. So honestly, like no more mentions of the overheat. Like it's done now. It's in the past.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, you know, don't you dare sit there, you know, writing us off. We're here to win some games and you know, get back up into the top half of the league. So we're playing against Rainbow Mythical this week, which is Marty and Joe, Mr. Cerebi, and Mrs. Cerebi. I mean, they're not married yet, are they? Are they engaged? I'm not sure.
I feel like they are.
Am I jumping the gun here? But okay, let's just move swiftly on and look at the teams. So, okay. So the first thing notice, they've got no taboo Pokemon, so we can, if we want, bring Lele. The second thing I noticed is they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential Trick Room setters.
Yes.
Will they go that route though? I'm also thinking, like, just my absolute initial thought looking at this is, if we don't bring Lele like at the start of the battle, we could just put like an expert belt bullet punch on Metagross just to pick off that Diancie.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the things that worry me most are surprise scarf Pokemon, like if they scarf the Victini, or maybe if they scarf the Nidoking, maybe that could be a problem. But I think this is a week that we definitely want Fungus, just because they have got all these Trick Room options. I think they've only really got Victini and I guess Salamence to hit it for any decent damage. So I think Fungus is going to take some attacks here and be pretty good for us.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Although I suppose we can't spore the answer, can we?
Yeah, but honestly, Diancie I'm not too worried about. We can have a bunch of ways to potentially one-shot it. It really can't touch Metagross. I like the bullet punch option, like you mentioned as well. And outside of that, yeah, this does definitely seem like a good week for Fungus. To me, it just seems like their team is lacking relatively in offense. So like the main things I'd be worried about, like you said, the random scarf. So Wailord Water Spout can hit for a lot.
Yeah.
So that just the spread damage there could be scary. Nidoking can hit a lot. Just it is slower, so we have to either just outspeed it, one-shot it, or at least be able to protect ourselves decently well from it. And then, I mean, Salamence without the Mega, honestly, I'm not too concerned about. It's mainly I'm thinking like Victini, Nidoking, and Wailord that to me threaten the most offense. Although I guess Malamar could be kind of decent against us too.
Yeah, Malamar gave Team Jamie a bit of a run for their money last week. That was a closer game than they probably were hoping it to be. The Malamar got set up and looked pretty decent. They used Z move on the Salamence last week too, which makes sense. I mean, they could go for a Z Fly or a Z Fire Fang or Z Fire Blast or whatever for the Glalie, perhaps, if they were worried about that, although that is a speed tie.
Right.
So there is some potential threat from there. But yeah, I mean, like you're saying, maybe they don't have too much offense. Maybe they go like the Z Trick or Treat with the Gorgeist and set that up somehow, or it's really the Victini, the thing that scares me most, I think. I mean, if it's going to be scarfed, I don't know. I think if there is going to be a scarf, then that is the thing that is more likely. I mean, Victini and Nidoking And I suppose if the Orangaroos got foul play, are really the only things that can touch our Metagross as well. Maybe if the Gourgeist has got a strong Ghost attack as well, perhaps too. But I think Metagross looks good here. Without any concept of Trick Room, I think Sharpedo looks good here. But I don't think we can confidently enough prevent their Trick Room. So we definitely need a fallback plan. But I don't know, Fungus and Sharpedo in Trick Room, could that still work if they got it up? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think this is trickier than it at first seems.
Yeah. To me, I'm just thinking of leads immediately, and I'm thinking like Driftlele. Honestly, it might not be bad here, especially like if we put like something like Hidden Power Steel on Drifloom. Then we're hitting Victini and the Diancie immediately for like at least over 70% damage, which is pretty good because it's super effective against both. If they don't go for the Trick Room option, we can Tailwind immediately, and then with Fungus in the back, even if they set up Trick Room, I feel like Fungus can just put everything to sleep, and then they're not really threatening with offense under Trick Room. So, to me, the first thing I'm thinking of, like in terms of things I want, Driftlele, Fungus, Metagross, those four for sure.
Hidden Power Steel on Drifloom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that calculation.
I don't think it one shots. I just took a look because I was curious. If they don't have any bulk, then it might. If we're like modest max and they don't have any bulk, I assume they will have some bulk, but still does a lot, enough where that plus any chip damage will get the knockout.
It actually does do a decent amount.
Yeah.
So like if we're modest 252 and they have absolutely no bulk at all, then it's maximum 102%. Actually, this is level 100, so that's that's quite funny.
I'm just thinking that way, like Drifloom threatens both of their high tier picks there, and they can't one shot us in return. So that's just an idea I had.
I mean, what is Diamond Storm? I probably should have looked this up. I know it's an attack, but what actually is it?
It hits. It's like Rock Special, hits both Pokemon, and it has a 50% chance of increasing defense by 2 stages. So if you let it, you get one off.
Power 100.
Yeah.
Okay. That could maybe one shot Drifloom. Let's have a look. Yeah, Diamond Storm. Like, we would need significant bulk to survive Diamond Storm from Diancie.
If they're max attack, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, my first thoughts were leading something like Raichu and Sharpedo, but I wasn't really convinced on that, so I didn't really want to go with it. Or maybe like a Metagross and Scarfed Nidoqueen or something, but again, I wasn't really convinced on that either, just because a Scarfed Earth Power doesn't one-shot Victini.
Right. So Raichu or Sharpedo is kind of an interesting idea. It's just the random Scarfs that can scare me.
Yeah, and they have got Togedemaru as well.
Yeah.
And we'll basically just be offering them Trick Room if they wanted to go that way.
Although, can they set up Trick Room that easily? We can one-shot most of the Trick Room users with Sharpedo, I'd assume.
We might be able to the Diancie, and I mean, I'm not sure if it would be able to the Diancie and Victini. I mean, Victini is pretty bulky. He's got base 100 and everything.
Right.
Malamar would survive an attack, and I don't know, Marango is pretty bulky. I mean, Gourgeist is very bulky as well. I'm sure they can all EV to survive one attack from Sharpedo.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should be more worried about Trick Room, but it's just the fact that we have Fungus makes me not as concerned, because I don't... Even under Trick Room, I feel like Malamar is the one thing that I'd be really scared about.
Yeah, and we can have, like, Clear Smog on the Fungus.
Right, exactly.
The Gourgeist we wouldn't be able to Rage Power or anything away from.
Right. Yeah, I mean, in terms of Pokemon, once again, I'm thinking... there are like 8 Pokemon I like here. I don't see too much reason for the Glalie or the Hitmonlee, but actually Hitmonlee could maybe make an argument for here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you probably could make an argument for Glalie as well, actually.
Yeah. So it's one of those matchups where I don't know. Like, I feel like any combination. I mean, there are a lot. Like, we could go with this in so many different ways. So it's just figuring out like the best way possible.
Yeah. Like, Volcarona doesn't stick out as being a great Pokemon here, but maybe like we haven't in the 2 weeks that we've done this year, we haven't used any kind of redirection from what I can remember, which feels kind of odd.
Yeah, I'm wondering because if we can get rid of the Diancie, the redirection here actually could be quite good. It's just the Diancie that's obviously the concern. Yeah, the things that were jumping in my mind in this matchup were like Lele, Metagross, Drifblim, Nidoqueen, Sharpedo, and Amoonguss. Those are the 6 that I first thought of. But like, you know, Raichu obviously provides pretty good utility. It's just obviously with Togedemaru, can't attack as easily. But I mean, Raichu has always been helpful and it's more support oriented anyway. Volk here is interesting because it doesn't really hit like some of their bigger guys for a lot. But obviously, like Malamar has to worry about Bug Buzz. Fire does a lot to like the bottom 2 rows of their team. But like you mentioned, yeah, I don't feel as strong about Volcarona, whereas everything else I feel like hits really hard against most of their things.
I mean, I suppose one question is if we didn't take Volcarona, how would we deal with the Malamar?
I was thinking, let's see. Let me look up Malamar because I honestly don't even know too much about it.
It's just averagely bulky with Trick Room, with Contrary, obviously with Superpower and Knockoff.
I'm just wondering if any of the guys that we can bring, if like any bug type attack should put in some work.
Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, Raichu probably learns U-turn, but I doubt it'll do much to it.
Right.
I mean, if we really wanted to, we could go Zed Fairy on the Lele again.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that here.
But like, I mean, it hits the Malamar, but not many other things.
Yeah,
it hits most of them averagely.
Yeah. The other thing, yeah, I mean, a Rangaroo would chunk a fair amount. Psychic would be knocking out the Nidoqueen anyway, or Nidoking anyway.
Yeah.
Moonblast would be knocking out Salamence anyway. So I guess it's just like doing slightly less as opposed to Z Psychic, but I don't mind having a Z move just to potentially one-shot the Malamar here.
Yeah, if it means not bringing Volcarona, which we don't really need, potentially. So, you really want to go with Lele and Drifblim leading?
That's what I'm thinking. Because if they go with any Trick Room option, then we're up like a huge amount, I feel like, where we can just protect Tailwind and then Drifblim and Lele overwhelm them with offense. And even if they go with Trick Room, we could just switch into Lafungus immediately.
So what, switch turn 1?
Probably, I would thinking like switch. You could even switch Drifblim, I guess, into Fungus, but I'm thinking like what their strongest Trick Room option here is. Maybe something like Victini to kind of nuke something, plus a Trick Room user.
Yeah. The V-Create in Trick Room is pretty nasty.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just not as worried about Trick Room as I should be. It's just if we get Fungus in, I just don't see like what they really do because Oranguru and Gourgeist really aren't that potent offensively.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I like to worry about Trick Room.
yeah, no, I think it's definitely a fair concern.
It's like, where are the goggles going to be as well?
Yeah.
Like, if you were them, surely you would think forward to, okay, so how do they stop Trick Room? The Fungus. So how do we stop the Fungus? The goggles. But, don't know. Okay, so if we lead Lele Drifblim, what is the worst case scenario then? They lead some kind of Trick Room option. Maybe Diancie to one-shot the Drifblim and something else.
Let's see.
I mean, Togedemaru does outspeed and can potentially one-shot Lele with like a Z Ironhead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they led Diancie and Togedemaru, we'd have to be worried about whether they Trick Room or not, or whether they just go for like an attack with the Diancie.
Yeah.
Trick Rooming with that kind of lead would be kind of ambitious, honestly.
I mean, a Hidden Power Steal from Lele probably gets Diancie.
Ooh.
but I feel like to be safe with that, we'd have to go Scarf Lele.
Scarf. Yeah,
and
exactly.
locking into Hidden Power Steel, maybe not the best idea.
Yeah, I feel like I like the Z move here more.
Yeah.
I'm curious though how much Hidden Power would do. Let's see. Oh yeah, that will get him. I guess if they're like max HP, it's a roll then.
But then, like, why are we messing around with Hidden Power Steel when we've got like Bullet Punch potential with
right, right. Alternatively, I was thinking Metagross as a lead, but it's just a Victini. Like if we get, it's like you said, if we get rid of the Victini, which is I think by far the biggest threat to Metagross, and I suppose Nidoking as well, at least, although at least that's a little bit easier to hit. Victini's gone, then Metagross can really have a field day.
Yeah. I mean, we could make a really, really bulky Volcarona and have it with Rage Powder, so that we can, if they do lead Victini, I don't know, maybe we're not getting anywhere with that.
Yeah.
Maybe Rage Powder and something with Metagross, but like we'd probably need Zed Earthquake or something, Zed Stomping Tantrum to get the Victini, and even then it might not one-shot it.
Mm-hmm. To me, let's see. Yeah, I'm still thinking Driftlele, but you could probably convince me of a better lead. It's just my VGC intuition going to it.
Yeah.
I think like Nidoqueen, Lele, Sharpedo, Metagross all do like so much good damage around all their team.
Like you would imagine that they would prepare for a Drifblim lead, surely.
Right.
So, like, I would imagine them to lead with at least one of Diancie or Togedemaru.
Mm-hmm.
I probably can see them leading with Togedemaru, just because it kind of does shut down Raichu. It kind of shuts down Drifblim and Lele in a way as well.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. If we are worried about like something like Diancie and Togedemaru just gets absolutely destroyed by Metagross, for example.
Yeah, it does.
V-Crate is pretty scary though.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Victini is the worry.
Right. What if we led something like I'm thinking Metagross Nidoqueen, but there's a lot that can go wrong there.
Yeah. Or Metagross Sharpedo, but then they could potentially intimidate. I wonder if a Liquidation knocks out Victini there. Or even a Crunch is super effective, isn't it? It's psychic.
Yes.
So I'm imagining it might do. Yeah, Adamant Crunch to 252 HP. Yeah, it does a lot of damage at one shots. Victini definitely.
Mhm.
-1 doesn't quite, but then like if we double protected and they Trick Roomed with the Victini, they could like encore the protect with their Togedemaru next turn.
I haven't watched their last two games. Did they ever go with Trick Room in either?
I have watched the games, but I can't remember them. I don't think so. I don't think
okay.
so.
Yeah, I don't know. Once again, I just am really not too concerned about the Trick Room, honestly, which is why like I'm gravitating towards Driftlele. Yeah, it just feels like we can overwhelm them with the offense in just a couple of turns, especially if we know we're faster with Tailwind.
Let's start moving some things around then. So, you are thinking late Drifblim with definitely Metagross. We definitely want Fungus. And other two being, what, Sharpedo and Nidoqueen?
Mm-hmm. But the Malamar, you do bring up a good point where it's like we don't have much to hit that.
Yeah.
And surely I would think they would bring it into this matchup.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think it's one of the better Pokemon.
Yeah.
But then, yeah. I'm just worried about Togedemaru. I'm just haunted by blooming Togedemaru from VGC 17. I hate playing against that thing. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I guess that is probably the biggest threat to Driftlele as a lead. But what would they lead it with that would really scare me? Because, like, we could just Will-O-Wisp the Togedemaru turn 1.
Yeah, so if it was with the Diancie, then that would be quite bad.
Right, but there's still nothing stopping, like, a Tailwind Protect turn 1.
No, but then if they Trick Room, they could potentially Encore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see them Trick Rooming with the Diancie and Togedemaru lead.
Yeah, maybe not with those two.
Like, they'd be Trick Rooming in front of a Metagross and a Fungus and Nidoqueen. You know, like, those are just way faster.
Yeah. Maybe I should get help with my Trick Room problem. Yeah.
If this is kind of just a random calc, but I was looking at it. If we run Fury Cutter on Sharpedo, if they're max HP, it's still 50% to one-shot them.
Fury Cutter?
Yeah.
Isn't that like base 20 or something?
I think it's base 40. And it doubles with each consecutive use, so it gets stronger.
Okay. Well, that's
just throwing that out there.
That's a consideration.
If we're very worried about Malamar.
Yeah. I mean, like two liquidations before they get 2 crunches even more powerful.
Yeah. I mean, Glalie, I'm definitely not sold on here. Hitmonlee would be interesting. It's just, I mean, like Hitmonlee Lele could be interesting. I want to look at Hitmonlee's moveset real set.
I think it just gets the stuff that you'd expect, like close combat knockoff,
right.
Like wide guard, fake out, all that kind of stuff.
It's a shame it does get Bolo Punch, but if we let it with Lele, obviously would not be able to use it.
Ah, yeah, it does get Bullet Punch. But it's not naturally faster than Togedemaru.
Right.
Does it get Iron Head? I seem to remember I was going to look this up earlier, but
I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. The only steel type attack it gets is Bullet Punch.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could convince me on Volcarona and Raichu. To me, I don't mind the 6, but I don't know. I just like you said, they could counter like Drifloon that you kind of have to prepare for. So, what are the worst things that we can go up against that you're scared of, and then is there a better lead that we can come up with that beats those?
Yeah.
I guess the Togedemaru Diancie is probably the scariest combination, but
so that would be a free switch into the Metagross and an attempt at a Will-O-Wisp onto one of them, I suppose. But if they just, I mean, if one of them's burnt, I think a double into the Drifloon will knock it out.
Right.
With what, Rock and Electric, so that would be a free switch into Nidoqueen.
Yeah.
So if they did lead that, we'd switch straight away both Lele and Nidoqueen out for Metagross and Nidoqueen?
I mean, why not just sack Drifloon and protect Tailwind and then just threaten them with offense for 3 turns?
Yeah.
Is there much downside to that, you know? I guess I do see them bring Sash Togedemaru if they bring it. I feel like that's by far the best item on it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, is there any other lead that could be a concern if they go with anything but Togedemaru and Diancie?
Well, I mean, if we went with something like Gorgeist, then they would be able to Trick Room. But again, there's the Fungus, which could hopefully help us out there.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if there's a better lead, because the Raichu Sharpedo lead was actually kind of interesting, I thought.
I mean, what if they did lead with Victini and it was Scarfed and like Scarfy create into Lele?
Oh. I mean, yeah, to me it's like, if they can't deny the Tailwind, right? So I think with Driftlele we're almost 100% Tailwinding that first turn. So even if they're Scarfed, I mean, what's stopping us from just Tailwind protecting?
Yeah, I'm just overly paranoid about the Trick Room.
Right. Even Fungus under Trick Room there should underspeed them, I'd assume.
Yeah, it would do.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Fungus is just giving me too much comfort right now.
Yeah, maybe. Like, because we wouldn't really want to switch it in. Like, we'd have to sacrifice something to get it in safely.
Right.
And what if they went with the safety goggles on Big Teeny?
Right.
Like, that's like nightmare scenario.
Yeah, I just can't see them doing that. That just does not seem like a... Like, Big Teeny is too good where to give up an item like that just for something so oddly specific doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I mean, if you have any other thoughts on the lead specifically, or if you better ways to counter Trick Room, I'm all for it. Those are just my thoughts.
Well, I'm totally comfortable with the lead of Lele Driftblim, but I don't have any better alternatives to put forward. That's basically where I'm sitting at the moment. Because I'm like, I've convinced myself that they are going to go Trick Room.
Right. So, okay, then what about Raichu Sharpedo? You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I didn't really like that either. But
what was the fear that? Like,
the Intimidates, I suppose. And I don't know, like if we had Helping Hand on the Raichu, that would negate the Intimidate, and then we could threaten one-shots on things. But I don't know, like if we did with those two, if they did Trick Room, obviously the Fungus. The Sharpedo does hit almost everything that they've got. The Raichu would protect it from the Togedemaru's attacks. I mean, we've got what? Liquidation, Crunch, Ice Fang, Liquidation, Crunch, whatever for Togedemaru, whatever for that thing, Malamar. I'm not even thinking about the bee thing. What's that called? Rabombi, that's it.
Right. I was thinking we could also run like King's Rock Raichu if we want to get like an extra turn of flinching, especially for like the Trick Room users for that scale.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I mean, that does make sense. Like, we have got the faster fake out.
Right.
And I think Encore could sort of trick them out as well. But then that's what Raichu, we've got fake out fling Encore and Thunderbolt.
Which honestly doesn't seem too bad to me.
No. I mean, the more I think about it, like, I am very tired at the moment, so I'm like, I don't know if my thoughts are actually any good at the moment.
No, I do. Because I think, yeah, the thing with, because we have the Drift and Lele combination, like, you have to really lead with something, otherwise it could just kind of blow through your team. Although, I guess against the Jamies week 1, I didn't feel like they had the best answer against it. We were, like, so caught up with that.
They did have a plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw their side.
Well, no, I did not.
Yeah, they did have a plan if we led with those two.
Gotcha.
They had Follow Me on their Raichu, so they were planning on just belly drumming and Follow Me.
Interesting.
Basically, so they could still Aqua Jet, because they had Mystic Water, they could Aqua Jet and one-shot our Drifblim.
And I guess they had the Sash on the Raichu that week, right?
Yeah, I think so. I like how we just sort of thinking about that.
No, I was just curious. That's an interesting impact. I'm not sure if it's honestly the best, but yeah. My point is, yeah, they're just like a lot of teams that don't have any answers against Drifblim. I guess like, yeah, the Togedemaru and Diancie is the one combination. So okay, I'm thinking like maybe if those two are on the same side, then I feel a lot more confident with Drifblim and Lele as a lead. But if they're on separate sides, then I'd be more scared, and maybe Raichu and Sharpedo's a better combination.
Yeah, I mean, if we had Raichu, then I'm thinking maybe we'd drop the Nidoqueen here. But I don't know. Nidoqueen is, I mean, it's always the same. It's always threatened by a lot of things, but it can do some damage. But like it kind of, I mean, Diancie can learn Psychic. I mean, there is that. Nidoking is faster. Victini is faster, and you can one-shot it too. Like Salamence with a Z move probably wouldn't one-shot Nidoqueen still, but like I guess it's good against the Togedemaru, but so is Raichu in a way, kind of protects us from the Togedemaru. I don't know. Let's like actually have a look at it. What would it look like if we went with?
I'm thinking Scarf Nidoqueen personally. Just because it one-shots, let's see. Yeah, one-shots Nidoking even if it has bulk. Like, guaranteed one-shots it. Victini, I assume we wouldn't. Still do a lot though.
Yeah, it does about 80-odd% to
Yeah.
Victini, I think.
Salamence were obviously threatening with the one shot. If we throw Hidden Power Steel, I'm sure against Diancie that put him somewhere.
Yeah, that's an idea actually. Actually, I don't think it would knock it out. Its special attack stat isn't that high, is it?
Oh yeah.
It's only 75. Yeah, it's less than Driftbloom, so yeah, that wouldn't get it.
Forgot it doesn't get the sheer force. Although Earth Power, if they don't have any bulk, has like over 30% chance to one shot. Not that that's the best calc, but that's still pretty solid damage. All right, let's see what you have now.
So well, yeah, this is just the alternative, I guess.
Right. It's just so with these, the main means of offense would be Sharpedo, Lida, and Metagross. Although if we do throw Hidden Power Steel and Driftbloom, then we can still actually hit Victini and Diancie for pretty dang hard.
Yeah, it can chip away at them.
So what's the worst case scenario against this lead?
Gourgeist or Malamar, I suppose. And going for a Trick Room with those.
Yeah, it would need to be next to something, right? Because like you mentioned, we could have the Helping Hand option. Just King's Rock, Crunch, and then Crunch again next turn.
I'm just going to look at the Crunch calculation on Gourgeist. Actually built a Gourgeist team in 19 yesterday. Right. Crunch. So they could EV to survive a Crunch, but it would need a lot of investment.
Gotcha.
But like, it's a Gourgeist, they're gonna have a lot of investment, so maybe I'm not gonna bank on a Crunch one-shotting it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just really am not too concerned about Trick Room at the end of the day. Like, even if they set it up, I don't know, I just feel like Fungus kind of goes to town.
Yeah. Pass your lack of concern on to me, please.
I think it's good. No, it's good for you to balance out my non-concern. For sure.
Like, have we... I don't think we've ever actually been, like, swept in Trick Room, have we? Like, my fear literally just comes from my own teams that I use in VGC. Like,
and I think it's a pretty valid fear too, due to the nature of our like more hyper offensive teams.
Yeah. So, are you leaning more towards the Driftblim Lele lead then, as we had it this way around?
I'd say, to me, the only thing that I'm really scared of is the Diancie Togedemaru combination you mentioned. So if they have that on the same side, then I think we should definitely go that. But if not, then I'm thinking I like the Raichu Sharpedo lead.
Yeah. Okay.
So we don't necessarily need to decide on 6. We could bring 8 or 7, for example, and then flex between 2 in team preview.
Yeah, I think these two are going to be our like the decoy Pokemon, but maybe we could bring the Raichu.
Yeah. One thing that it's interesting we haven't done too much in MBL is like actually preparing 8 Pokemon instead of just coming with 6 guaranteed and then like choosing based off team preview. We haven't really done that much, which is always an option, although for the most part, I'm fine with what we've historically done.
Yeah. I feel like if you have a proper plan with 6, then you don't really need the other 2. But I suppose maybe there are circumstances where if you, like you're saying, for example, Togedemaru and Diancie are on the same side, yeah, maybe we could go with Raichu and Sharpedo. Definitely with Helping Hand on the Raichu though. Yeah,
Helping Hand. I like the King's Rock option, but I think Focus Sash Endeavor is always a decent one too.
Yeah. No, I like the King's Rock option. I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because like one thing that I noticed with our draft as well is that we really don't have anything fast at all. Like Raichu is literally our fastest Pokemon.
Right. It's all in that kind of middle tier range.
Yeah. Well, I suppose Driftbloom can be fast, but that comes with the need for Lele too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have any other thoughts. Those are... Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, is there anything I should be really scared of that I'm underestimating? I mean, Nidoking's scary, but we can start in with one-shots with literally 4 of our Pokemon. I think the Malamar's the thing I keep looking at.
Yeah, I mean, Nido King is pretty scary actually, looking at what we're bringing, because that can hit like pretty much everything on our team.
Yeah.
And Nido Queen, like they could go with Scarf Nido King, and that's going to be faster than any Scarf Nido Queen that we go for.
Right.
You know, a Scarf Sludge Bomb into Lele will probably knock it out.
Yeah, I'm just like, they have to be in a position where they have to outspeed us. If we have Tailwind up, then we'll definitely be outspeeding them. Even if we don't, they'd have to be scarfed.
Yeah.
And if we're leading Drift Lele, we'll probably have Tailwind up.
I mean, they have, what, one Tailwind option themselves? They've got two Tailwind options, Ribombi and Salamence.
Yes.
But if they lead with Ribombi or Salamence, then Drifloon
That's
Lele
just,
is...
they have no damage pressure with that, and Lele just kind of goes to town.
Yeah. Oh, unless they go with, like, Zed Fly on Salamence.
Mm-hmm.
Because that probably would one-shot Lele.
Yeah, to me, even if they did, though, we could just Tailwind Protect turn 1. That's the safest play.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Or even Will-O-Wisp Salamence, although then if we miss, like we did this last week, that could be deadly.
Don't mention it.
Yeah, we're done, no more.
Alright, so shall we just go with this then and see how we feel on Team Preview?
Yeah.
So, Lily, what kind of Lily are we using then? Like Zed Fairy?
Zed Fairy with Taunt, I was thinking. And
Okay.
Psychic Blast, Taunt Protect.
I think we have to be timid to outspeed the Nido King. So I think we will have to be timid.
Yep.
Drifblim with Shadow Ball, Tailwind, Will-O-Wisp, and shall we go Hidden Power Steel?
I like it here, honestly.
Okay.
If not, the only other move I really was thinking of was Destiny Bond to potentially trade Drifblim for like Diancie.
Okay.
But
yeah, Nido Queen. Do you really think Scar?
Life Orb could work too. I was just thinking if we're worried about Nido King outspeeding us, at least we could get the jump on it. But
do we actually one-shot it?
Yeah, we should.
Like without life or anything?
I could be doing the calc wrong, but maybe you can double check me. Like it doesn't even come close to. I mean, it comes.
Yeah,
like
actually, yeah, we do. Yeah, as long as we're modest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, timid gets no bulk. Nido King. Okay. What kind of Metagross then? Because if we're leading Lele, then Bullet Punch isn't a very good idea on it.
Right.
But maybe we don't need Bullet Punch. I was just thinking of the cheeky swift knockout.
No, I like that idea too. Yeah, nothing. I'm thinking about that. I don't know. Nothing immediately jumps to mind. I mean, obviously, like we could obviously just throw the Z move on there because that's the other really viable user.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's the other only user, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Steel Z hits everything on their team pretty hard, or Psychic Z.
Yeah, or ground, maybe.
Mm-hmm. That could be interesting as well.
Because that will get Nido King and Diancie and Victini and Togedemaru.
Right.
But like Metagross, we always want like all of the moves on Metagross. Like Ice Punch would be good for that, and Stomping Tantrum, and Iron Head, and Zen Headbutt, and Bullet Punch. But Sharpedo, I don't think we've got much room to maneuver. I mean, I'm saying Liquidation because it's more powerful than Waterfall. But do you think Waterfall might be better just for like flinch chances if we really need it?
If Liquidation isn't getting knockouts, then yeah,
Yeah,
I like having the flinch chance.
And Fungus, bulky. Are we going? Well, yeah, we are going bulky. But bulky or Eviolite or Focus Sash?
I like Eviolite bulky.
Yeah, I think Eviolite works better here.
Yeah.
So it's just the Metagross really that we're sort of debating over. I guess the Raichu we know what we want with that if we're gonna take that in the back. Volcarona with bulky with Rage Powder.
I like that, yeah.
So I suppose we'd put it this way around.
Yeah.
So these two are opposite and these two are opposite.
Yes.
But then like this side with Drifloon and Fungus looks pretty passive.
Mm-hmm. Can we switch Fungus up? Do we necessarily need it on that side?
I suppose not. There we go.
Yeah. Nice.
Just switch them, it'll work.
Real switcheroo there. I like that.
Okay, let's go with this then. Let's put some sets together and see how the battle goes then.
Yep, and if anything comes up, obviously, we'll talk to each other beforehand.
Yeah.
I think if anything.
So, like, oh yeah, at the beginning, let's try and do like only 20 minutes. Like, we don't be too long this time.
It ends up being 40 minutes.
Like the longest one we've done yet. All right, so unless there's any unforeseen circumstances, which there shouldn't be, this will be on Friday. So hello, Friday world, and the battle should be on Aaron's channel tomorrow on Saturday. So come and join us tomorrow and enjoy the battle. Okay. So goodbye from both of us.
See you guys.
And we'll see you then.